Hey, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we're looking at in this episode is the Yahiko Shirogami Hairline Petty 135mm. So this line of knives has core steel of Shirogami or white paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. Heat treats around 6061 Rockwell on that core, harder core steel. And it is surrounded on each side with a soft iron reactive cladding. And looks like the cladding does come around over the top as well. And this cladding, again, is reactive, as is the core steel, so there's no stainless or anything on this knife. The weight on this is about 75 grams, 2.6 ounces. And these will vary a little bit from knife to knife, as due to the fact that they're hand-hammered and ground and so on, so you'll get some variations. The edge length on this one is 142 millimeters or 5.6 ounces. Overall length about 274 millimeters or 10.8 inches. And the spine thickness, I measured these 3 places. I don't usually do 3 places, but they have a pretty thin, really nice distal taper. So if you look up here, you'll see pretty thick coming out of the handle, about 3.1, but then it comes down quickly to 1.6, about halfway down. And I measured it about an inch or so from the end. It's about 1 millimeter, and it gets thinner after that. So these knives, everything in this line has a really nice distal taper that's just continuous from the handle all the way down to the tip. Very nicely done. Blade height on this one's about 32.4 millimeters at the back of the heel. And the handles are octagonal. The specifications say white oak along with buffalo horn ferrule. And circumference on this one's about 68 millimeters where the ferrule meets the wood, about 2.7 inches. And their style of handle is a little bit thinner and taller, so it's not as squarish, if you will. And let's see, balance point, of course, this is a very light blade, so the balance point's going to be back a little bit, but there's your balance point on that. They don't have a lot of room on the neck here in terms of putting your finger there, so they haven't chosen to, pull that. They put the tang pretty far into the handle is what I'm trying to say. We'll get it. There we go. So let's see. Let's take a close-up look at this knife. So the hairline finish is just another word for brushed. So it's a horizontal finish strokes on the sanding versus going spine to edge like with a belt sander style. So it's a nice effect. It looks cool. And then the other cool thing about this brush style longitudinal finish is as you clean the knife and wipe it dry, you'll tend to get scratches going this way, and that blends with that and hides that much more nicely. So you've got hand chisel kanji, which is a really nice effect here. You can feel it when you move your fingers across there, and you got some on the left side as well of the blade as you're holding it. You can see it blends really well into the core steel. These are quite thin at the edge, very high performance knives. Let me get a shot there, but these babies are thin at the edge. So don't let that spine thickness at the heel fool you. We can get a nice beauty shot here. There we go. So fit and finish, very nicely done. You've got a pretty nice rounding job to the spine and the choil. Really well done. Out of the box sharpness was decent. 4 out of 10, maybe. The bevels look pretty clean, but they're just not quite that sharp, so you'll want to sharpen these up and finish them off out of the box. The grinds are nice. As I said, they're very thin at the edge. I found these knives to be just a touch flatter on the right side versus the left side. Not much. I'm a lefty, and I've been using the 210 Gyuto model and have had no issues with steering. Here is our profile. So this is kind of a mini Gyuto style profile, and you can see very smooth transition. You got a little bit of flat at the heel, pretty low tip, so I'm not going to get real high on rocking. The tip definitely is pretty low on these in relation to the blade center. But just a nice all-around, very impressed with these. The grinds are nice, performance is nice, steel's good, and really a lot of craftsmanship for the money. So this is a very handy-dandy petty. This is the Yahiko Shirogami Hairline Petty 135mm.